My son had just moved into his very first home, a cozy little place in a quiet, peaceful neighborhood. It wasn't fancy, but it was perfect for someone just starting out. He was excited, a little nervous, and ready to enjoy the freedom of living on his own. Everything was going great until she showed up. A few days in, there was a knock at his door. A woman in her mid-50s stood there, hair pulled back into a tight bun, sunglasses on, even though it was cloudy. In her hand, a thick binder and a smile that never quite reached her eyes. "Hi there," she said. "I'm Corinne, head of the Homeowners Association. Welcome to the neighborhood. I just need you to sign these papers and pay your $300 initial dues." My son blinked, totally confused. "Wait, I didn't know there was an HOA here. It wasn't mentioned when I bought the house." She waved him off like it was nothing. "Oh, we're newly organized. The board voted to include the whole street. It's mandatory now." He didn't know what to say. He was new to all this, so he just took the papers and told her he'd read through them first. Later that day, he called me, and immediately I knew something was off. I double-checked the deed and all his closing documents. Nowhere did it say his property was part of an HOA. I told him clearly, "Do not sign anything." The next day, Corinne came back. This time, no fake smile. "I noticed you haven't returned the forms," she said sharply. "You're already out of compliance." My son remained calm and respectful. "I've reviewed my deed. My home isn't part of the HOA. Legally, I don't have to sign anything." Corinne stepped closer, voice colder now. "You live on our street. That makes you part of our community. If you refuse to comply, there will be consequences." Again, my son stood firm. "I'm not signing anything I'm not legally obligated to sign. Have a good day." And this is where things took a turn. A few hours later, 2 police officers showed up at his door. "Sir, we received a complaint from the HOA president. She claims you're being hostile and refusing to follow community regulations." My son was shocked. Still, he stayed polite. "Officers, I've done nothing wrong. My deed clearly states there's no HOA associated with this property." They asked him for his ID. He handed it over without hesitation. Right as things started to feel tense, my wife and I arrived. After he called us, we drove straight over just in case. My wife, calm as ever, walked right up, greeted the officers, and calmly reached into her purse and pulled out her federal badge. "Good evening, officers. I'm with federal law enforcement. I'd like to see exactly what this HOA president is accusing my son of and whether she has any legal documentation to support it." You should have seen Corinne's face. She went pale, tried to stammer something about neighborhood unity and community enforcement, but it was too late. One of the officers gave my wife a respectful nod, turned back to Corinne, and said, "Ma'am, unless you have legal proof that this home is part of your HOA's jurisdiction, we strongly suggest you stop harassing this homeowner." Corinne muttered something, turned around, and walked away, fast, back into her house. That was the last time she ever knocked on his door. We found out later that she'd been trying to start an HOA to control the neighborhood. Most homeowners never agreed to join. She had been pretending it was mandatory, and no one had called her bluff until now.